Hello and welcome to another DCMU theme park news review. So, like I've said before, the channel that I started was mainly doing videos from theme parks and non-speaking blogs. And to be honest, there's better people out there doing vlogs. And I mean, I will take videos from theme parks. I mean, I ought to have done this year, but I didn't, and I regret that really. But obviously I've been to all the theme parks in the UK, the majority of them at least. So each time I'm going to do different reviews, just to get them out there, my opinion, and whether everybody else agrees, well, we'll see. So today, Drayton Manor theme park. A fantastic theme park, you know, in Staffordshire. Let's talk about it. So, first things first, let's talk about Thomasland. If you've a child from the age of a baby up to 8 or 9, Thomasland is a fantastic, ultra brilliant themed little theme park inside Drayton Manor. Let's talk about the rides. I don't know the names of all the rides, but you know, there's a lovely little mini roller coaster in there, which is also good for the adults. There's a couple of water rides in there. There's one, a fire engine ride where you put out the water, great for little kids to blast. You know, there's also in that same corner next to that, there's one where you're on spinning boats and you're blasting water. And there you have to watch out, because for the kids, when they get soaked, they start crying. But, you know, for adults, it's great because you can blast the hell out of each other. You know, it's like a battle splash type thing. And great. And you've got a little aeroplane ride in the same area. Fantastic for kids. A little spinny ride in that same area. A little train ride for the younger babies, you know. You can sit next to, you know, put the... not babies, but certainly 6 or 7 months, you know, you can sit, my little one is that age, so you can sit him next to you, go on the ride, and, you know, he's loving it because he's in the train. You've got a little drop tower in the other part. You've got a rocking boat ride. You've got a helicopter ride that goes up. You've got a car ride, you know, you've obviously got the train that goes to the zoo in there with Thomas, or I think it's Gordon, I don't know, I'm not really knowledgeable. You've got meet and greets with the fat controller, a couple of different fat controllers there. They do little shows now and again. You've got a farm ride where you've got some make-believe animals and you're there. And there's 2 seats, you've got 1 adult in each per car, and you go with the kids around it. You've got these like spinny car rides. There's like a little carousel. So that's Thomasland. Thomasland on its own. You know, let's give it a review. For me, the whole package to Thomasland, 4.8 out of 5. For the age range it's aimed at, fantastic. Right, let's talk about the other rides. Maelstrom. Maelstrom is like a spinning, imagine the pirate ship, but it's spinning and it's going whoop and whoop and whoop, and the forces are fantastic. Sadly, one of these broke apart. Not the one at Drayton Manor, obviously, but in somewhere called Uzbekistan. Whether it was the same sort, same type, by the same manufacturer, I don't know. But that sort of ride actually broke apart and killed somebody the other week. But don't let that disturb you. British health and safety in Britain is paramount. And the checks are done a lot more regular than they are probably done in them sort of places. But yeah, a great, what I would call like a spinny pirate ship type of ride. You know, I don't know the actual proper name for it, but you know, it is a great ride. And next door to that, you got G-Force. Sadly, a roller coaster where it took you round the first loop and you dropped and you went round a few loops, and that Sadly, that's been standing but not working. They need a part for it. It looks like they're not going to get the part, so it's going to be took out of the park probably this year, and sold on to somebody else. So sadly, one roller coaster down, one of the big thrill rides down, which is, it hurts a park like Drayton Manor to lose a thrill ride. Next to that, you've got Air Race, and you're in, like, imagine that's you there, and you're spinning, then you go upside down, you're going round and upside down. A great ride to get, a good thrill ride. 1.3 and over, and got a bit, I think, anything above 9 or 10 is a good for that ride. I took our 8-year-old on, and he did not like it, so a bit too much for him. Creaks a bit when you're on the ride, mind you, but that's that. Next up, Shockwave. Europe, I think this Europe's only standing roller coaster. So you stand up on it. Now, if you're a woman, it's not so bad. What I will say to you is, when you get on the ride, watch out. Because obviously, you'll get on and you'll push it down. Now, if you're a bloke, push it down a little bit more than what you'd normally be. So you're actually standing without that bit crunching against you. Because let me tell you, if you do, by the time you've done the loops on the ride, my God, it's like ball ache of the ride. You come off there and you know about it. But if you set it a little bit lower, so there's just a little bit more freedom, the other bar comes over anyway, so you're totally safe. But it just gives you that little bit of freedom, because you do not want to come off that ride and aching for the rest of the day. And for blokes, you know how it feels. Same for women as well, really. You just don't want that. As it is, a good roller coaster, yeah. Obviously the biggest roller coaster on the park now, G-Forces, sadly doesn't look like it's ever going to come back, unless they get the part they need or parts they need. I would have thought it'd be cheaper to buy the parts than it would be cheaper to replace the roller coaster, but or surely buy multiple versions of that part, so if it breaks again, you've got that part. Sometimes theme parks, and Drayton Manor aren't the only one, Alton Towers were black hole. They'll get rid of rides which were fantastic for no bloody good reason. Only part because it cost them some money to fix. Well, hey, the people that are coming in the park all year round, it's worth paying that bit to keep it going. Hey, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, a good roller coaster. You really feel the inversions on it, they're going up downhill, and the zero roll, I think it is on there. It's a great roller coaster. Next, we'll talk about Rapids, and sadly, still down. There was an incident, I think it was 2017 now, where a girl died on the ride. I have heard reports that she stood up, and what happens on Rapids is, obviously the water splashes over people. Instead of sitting in the bloody seats and bracing themselves for it, they stand up, and I can imagine they stand up, piss about, and she's gone over. Obviously, I don't know. I can't say, was she messing about or anything like that. You can't say that, But that's reports, what I've heard. True or not, it will come out in the wash. I dare say they've got videos of this. But I have seen it on myself on the Rapids. For me, all Rapids, seatbelt you're in, they ain't going nowhere. Once you're seatbelted in, that's it, till the end of the ride. That's how it should be. You're going to get wet. Well, that's what you went on for, Simple as that. And hopefully it will come back next year. And, because losing any ride on any theme park is a big drain on that theme park. And, it's sad, but hopefully, it'll all get sorted this year, and one way or the other. So next up, Stormforce 10, and that's very unique to the UK. It's a raft. Instead of a log flume, it's a raft ride that goes up. You've got one forward hill, one reverse hill, and then another forward hill. The reverse hill gets you soaked to bits. Soaked to bits. Go on there on a hot day, or go on there with appropriate wet weather clothes, or whatever you wear, ponchos and that. But still a very good ride, well worth doing. There's a train ride that goes around that area, goes under Stormforce 10, goes around the rapids, Maelstrom, Air Race, G-Force. Obviously, with 2 rides out of all them being out, you're not seeing a lot these days, but sadly. Hopefully it will get back to normal soon. I think that's Pulp Hero Express. There's a carousel in that area, old-fashioned carousel, they're great for kids of all ages. Next up, the pirate ship, the Bounty. Wow. One of the best pirate ships in the UK. Absolutely love it. For me, obviously the ride operator can up the intensity. And when we were there in the morning, he had it quite tame. In the afternoon, he was ramping it up. Fantastic. My little 9-year-old who's got autism loved it. Loved it to bits. You've got the Dodgems. Great Dodgems in that same sort of area. 1.2 and over. I think it is anyway, yeah. And you've got to be above a certain age if you're on your own or to ride it. I can't remember what the age was, but you'll be told on the ride. So many people queue up and then get right at the front of the queue. After the queue for 10 minutes, get told, sorry, he's not old enough. Please read the signs. You've also got like a pirate, I think it's Buccaneer. Is it Buccaneer? Pirate ship that goes round. Not pirate ship, but pirate themed ride. It goes round one way, then back round the other way. And yeah, another great family ride for, as long as you're big enough, great. Next, you've got Flying Dutchman. You're on like these swings in a boat and you're going round. Brilliant. And then you've got, I can't remember the blooming name of it, like an upside down pirate ship type ride. And again, fantastic. Then you've got the Drop Tower, Apocalypse. And it's got sit down, standing and, leaning forward, sit down, leaning forward. So basically it's 4 rides in one. And it's all a Drop Tower. And if you ever watch Theme Park Worldwide's vlogs, you'll know that he rates that as probably the best of the Drop Towers for intensity. Not the height, but intensity. So, forceful. You've got a Buffalo roller coaster, so another family themed roller coaster. An oldie, but a goodie, it's not so bad. Thinking about the same sort in that area, you've also got a high walking course, one of these wooden walking courses where you're high up in the air. That you have to book separately and pay separately for. And it's not always on at the same times as the park. It's weird. You've got what was called Ben 10. Now it's called Accelerator, a family Vekoma Junior Boomerang. So it sends you up like that, shoots you forward, you go around, you don't go upside, no inversions, and then you go up and then you go back the same sort of way. A great little coaster, The only thing is, on a hot day, it's like a sweatbox inside the building. You've been warned. Going round, you've got Drunken Barrels, which is a spinny. You're sat in like a round, barrel, for want of a better word, and you're spinning around, but it also tilts you. So really good. And how do you get, if you don't like spinny rides, how do you do that with spinning and not come off too ill? Focus on the centre at all times. Never ever take your eyes off the centre. Because if you do, that's when you start getting, you try and look around, you're like, oh, Jesus me. You'll know about it. Then you've got the Haunting, and that's what they call a madhouse. And, it's got a certain theme as you go through. You sat in, and basically, you sat like that. Either side, that's me that side, friends that side, and you go like that, and then the building around you spins round, and it's like bloody hell. And there's obviously, depending on the theming, there's eyes popping out. This is a bit horror themed, and it's a good ride. It's I said a retheme, not a retheme, but they've done it up the last few years, so yeah, it's pretty decent. Next door to that, you've got a 4D cinema, and it's showing Ice Age at the moment. In fact, at the moment, I think it's showing the new Thomas the Tank movie. So you get to watch the new Thomas the Tank movie while you're at the theme park for the day. And here's a little tip: watch the movie at the last minute, and it extends your visit to the park. So that's all the rides, well, nearly all the rides inside the zoo area, and that massive area. There's a terrace, and it's like these little tractor things that you drive around, and that's very good. Inside the zoo area also, there's a miniature Thomas Tank land inside, like, you know, little Thomas Tank World inside a building, so you can go around and watch trains going around. Ever so interesting. You've obviously got the zoo, lots of different animals there. I'm not going to go through all the animals. There's absolutely tons, and they all seem like they're being looked after well. There's aviaries for the birds. There's tigers, and, you know, lots of different animals. It's quite a nice little theme park, really. Trying to think what else there is. Have I got everything? Have I done everything? I think so. There's play areas in there as well. There's a little dinosaur area, you know, inside all that. So, Drayton Manor. That's Drayton Manor. The good. Yeah, I think it's got probably the best children's area in the UK. Thrill rides, it needs something. Recently they took out the cable cars, which I didn't like anyway. They've took out the big wheel and replaced it with some crappy pay to ride thing. And let's be fair, you know, the one thing I hate about theme parks is you paid X amount to get in, be it 20 to 50 quid to get in, and then there's upcharge rides. And for me, that's a total disgrace. Alton Towers are doing it at the moment with that bloody dungeon thing. And you pay to get in. Make it free. You know, no wonder people aren't going to it, because they think, I'm not paying another £5 to get on that when I've done these. Sod you. And you can totally understand that. What does Drayton Manor need? For me, they used to run an old-fashioned big boat round a lake next to where the Bounty is. For me, that is the perfect area for a water coaster. The UK hasn't got one. Not that I can think of anyway. A Mack Rides water coaster in there. Family water coaster. You don't need to make it something that's, you know, massive, but a family water coaster in there. Get that lake drained, get it built, put a water coaster in there, and I tell you what, woof, people will come to the park. But also, thrill rides, it needs something like the Beast that was at Fantasy Island. It needs 4 or 5 of them type of rides in that area. They don't have to go for multi-million-pound roller coasters. I don't know if they can afford it. You know, you have to be realistic in this age. Keep all the attractions they've got, but, you know, bring a few more in. Pirates Adventure. You've got that massive building there that you know, make it back into a themed ride. Put a re-theme in there. You've got the building. Fix whatever's inside. Bring it back out. Re-theme it. Bring it back out. You've got what they're using for Christmas. That, you know, was it Excalibur at some stage? I'm not sure what it was. But you reuse these buildings. Make them all year round. Put a dome up. Make an indoor area. Make it an indoor theme park for the winter months. You will get people visiting. Most rides, roller coasters, I know they struggle under a certain temperature, but in the winter, you know, Drayton Manor could be a great winter park. So out of 5 for Drayton Manor. So I've already gave Thomasland a 4.8. Yeah, it's immense. There's more they can do there, but they might have to go in. They might have to nick a bit off one of the car parks. As for Drayton Manor Park itself, about a 4.4. It needs investment. It needs G-force fixing or getting rid of, put something else new in there. For me, something like what they've got at Flamingo Land, at Mumbo Jumbo, that sort of ride in there. Or something similar. Maybe something that can break a world's record. You know, that ride, but make it slightly more round so it breaks the world's record that's held by Hakabishi or something in Japan, if that's who holds it now. But yeah, it's a great park. It's near. You know, I used to have American Adventure, which was about 10 minutes away from me, and now that's the nearest. It's 40 minutes away. You know, but a great theme park. And we'll talk about the hotel another time, another review. Thanks for watching. See you soon.